Hi guys, welcome to Little Bird's Life channel. I'm really happy to be here with you for my second video, and today I just decided to make the Draw My Life tag. I'm not here to expound myself to the entire world. I just want you to know me better, and I just want to show you guys the most important part of my life. So if you want to know who is this little bird, just keep watching. And yes, I just want to precise one thing, guys. I'm sorry for my drawing. I just tried to do the best of me, so please be kind with me, guys.
So I was born on 15 April 1992. I'm sorry guys, I wrote April in French. So I was born in Madagascar, in the capital, and I was a miracle because the doctor said I would die. So this little baby, it's me, and when I was 2 years old, we left Madagascar to go in Reunion Island because my parents were looking for a job. So we went to a beautiful island where the sun was always there. And yes, this is my plane. So our first house was a dump. So I'm just trying to draw it as it was. So it was a dump where there were snakes and mouse. It just gives me the shivers, guys, just talking about it. And yes, and I remember our first car was this little white car. I'm sorry guys, I know my car is not the best, but I just tried. And yeah, so it was our little white car, and yeah, so we did not have a lot of money at that moment. Things changed quickly because we moved in our first real apartment, and there were a lot of people coming from Madagascar, so it was pretty funny. And we were there, and I had my first friends, and what was pretty cool was that they lived next to us. So So another change in our life, we were not free anymore because my grandfather came from Madagascar and he lived with us, but my grandmother came to join him and they moved together. I was pretty sad, but actually they lived in the same building. and moreover I was with my parents, so I was always happy. And then my first day to school, it was pretty funny according to my parents. I remember I wore Latin and jasmine white dress. And what was weird, guys, was that every child were crying while I was happy, and I did not know why, but I was happy to go to school while every child were crying, were sad, and I even said to my daddy, "You can go now. Bye." And my mom said that when I was little, I used to pinch all children. So they were crying because I was a bad girl, and these children were my victims. So after some years we moved again, not far from where we were, and it was a big apartment building. So my parents went to work and I went to school. It was a normal life. And I met a lot of people who became my friends. And what was pretty cool was that they lived in the same building. So I was really happy to meet new people and to have new friends. Big memory, guys, in this apartment was that one day I was alone at home and I closed the door, and when my mom came from work, I didn't know how to open the door anymore, and she did not know what to do, and she decided to call the fire department. So the fireman climbed out the window, and I don't know why, guys, but I was shocked. I didn't know what's happening, and I just said, "There's a ninja." So a ninja is I don't know if you watch martial arts movie, you know, men who wear black clothes and you cannot see his face, just his eyes. And yeah, it was pretty funny at the same time. And then the middle school, so I met crazy, fantastic people, and my best friend had long black hair, and we always have had fun, whether in the playground or in class. And we shared good times together, and yes. It was my first love at first sight, and I, did, I didn't know his name, so we called him Dolphin. And this guy used to stand against the wall in the playground, and I did not know if he known, but if he known something, but he gave me a person look, guys, and yeah, so I was crazy about him, and yeah, and I knew his name only a few days before I moved again, guys. So I was pretty sad because I love my dolphin. And then we moved again in a beautiful apartment with sea view. And all was well until a strange woman come living at the top floor, and her nickname was Witch. She was so weird, guys. I don't know how to describe her, but she looked like a witch. And every time we see her, we were like shocked because she was really strange. And anyway, I had my first big aquarium, and I know you cannot really do a lot of things with fish, but I was happy seeing them after school. So I went to my new school, and it was really hard for me because I had to adapt myself to this new school, new people, and moreover in this school, people had a style that was different from where I was, and yeah, so I did not talk to people too much. But fortunately, I met a beautiful girl with curly hair who became my best friend. And what was really cool, guys, was that she lived just next to us. What about math, guys? I hate math, and above all because of my teacher at that moment, I was traumatized by her. I always used to cry before a class, and actually we were all afraid of her. She was so strict, and she used to say that I would never pass my exam. But the most important was that I passed my exam, and the big surprise, guys, I had a good mark in math. And I would like to thank my daddy. So thanks, Dad. it was one of the best period in my life. I met new people, amazing, crazy people, all different, but we shared a lot of things. So I just wrote some name, guys, and yes, this is French name, and I'm sorry if I do not remember the other, but you are always in my heart. And yes, it was a good time, guys. So I remember this beautiful French teacher with blue eyes. All girls were crazy about him, but there were one big problem. He was not single, guys. So next. So this man, guys, was my sport teacher. He had a body surfer, and guess what, guys? When I was in final year, that body carried me in his one's arms because I failed during the class. And yes, I want to precise, it was not intentional. I could not stand up again. So let's be serious, guys. I passed my diploma and I was happy, but at the same time I was pretty sad because my grandfather died the year before I passed my exam, and it was really hard for me. But I was happy because my cousin came to Reunion Island with her family, and I really love this cousin, and we were just like sisters. So hi Tina. And from there, in 2010, everything changed because Little Bird came to France to study in applied foreign language only during 2 years because I turned to a career in sales. People were surprised when they know that I left Reunion Island to go there because it's very cold here. And I used to say sometimes change makes you grow up faster. So yeah. It was not easy at the beginning because it was really cold, guys. And when you used to live under the sun, it's pretty hard to start a new life, and above all when it's very cold. And moreover, what I noticed when I went to France was that people there were just weird. They never smile. And yes, but I was happy because my cousin came to join us in France with her family. And yes, but even if it was really hard for us, the most important was that we were together. I was with my parents, and yes, it was the most important for me. 2014, I passed my advanced vocational training certificate, and I was really happy. But at the same time, I was pretty sad because my grandmother died the year before I passed my certificate. And then I had to choose between study or work. So I decided to work, and in 2015 I went to Strasbourg, so it's next to Germany, for some time where I did 2 different works, and it was a good experience because I met another kind of people, and I met a lot of people, fantastic, awesome people. And when I was in Strasbourg, guys, I lived with an amazing family. They're just awesome, guys. I don't know how to describe them, but they have big heart. And this little one is Amanda. So Amanda, if you're watching this video, I just want to say that I love you. She's so crazy, she's beautiful, amazing. I just love this little one, guys. And then in October 2015, I decided to come in Paris for personal reasons. And up to now, I'm still here looking for my way. And Parisian life is pretty hard, but sometimes you just have to be adaptable if you want to be happy. So this is my little life, guys, and
Audio Jungle.